We are live today, and first, people are wishing you good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
First, we will start with the questions which are already sent to us. Karthik Mittal is asking, during...
I lost your voice, Yogita. Yogita has lost your voice.
Now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yes, sir. So for our audience, we are live today. Sir has wished everyone good morning. So good morning to all. And first we will start with the questions which are already asked to us. Karthik Mittal is asking, during the GP, members in my group were narrating the whole plan during the discussion time one by one what they had written. I got chance to speak only once and I was unable to speak again. So according to you, what should be done? And is it good if we narrate the whole plan once and for all, or do we discuss the problem to the GTO one by one while describing it for everyone?
Actually, the situation this Karthik has painted is something which I am finding it confusing. I am not getting clarity. Because Yogita, you have also attended SSB several times. Everybody doesn't narrate his complete plan. That doesn't happen. This is something which happens in the PPT, DT, that everybody narrates his or her story completely.
He is talking about the last one when GTO points out someone that please appoint a narrator or describe the whole plan of the group at that time. He is asking.
No, at that time, how is it possible that everybody will narrate their plans?
No, it's not possible.
But that's what he's saying, no?
That boy is saying problems, description, resources, everything has to be described at that point of time or not. That's what I perceived.
Okay. Anyways, it's a pretty confusing question. I'll interpret it in whatever way I can interpret. So if it's in the somebody has got nominated to narrate the plan on behalf of the group, then that person does not have to give all this, that we were 10 boys, we were this vehicle is there, this driver is there and all that. He does not have to tell that. He has to tell the plan in as brief a manner as possible. Like there may be so many resources which you may never use. There may be routes which would be available which you may not use. So you don't have to tell them. You just have to tell that you will divide your group of 10 boys into these many. Group X does this, Y does this, goes from this place to this place in this manner and takes this much of time. If some of you can have a look at the tabular representation which we have given in our book, The Practical Guide, for the solution of the group planning exercise, just that a sense if the person gives out, that would be good enough. So I take it that now somebody has given this plan. This Karthik is probably in agreement with it or in disagreement with it. I do not know. Probably he is having some views about that he is not agreeing with that in totality. Is it so, Yogita?
Perhaps the question is not very clear.
Okay, so Yogita, one thing we can do, I mean, it's very simple at your editing level. Don't bring in questions like this which are not clear. I mean, we will be confusing a whole group of people. But question is clear only. You ask this guy to send this question again. Let's drop this question. We have wasted this time.
Fine, sir. Because questions are not clear, we want clarity.
To take only the clear questions. Let me tell one point which is of importance to all people. Particularly, it is for the working professionals. This is of great relevance because I have noticed, because I keep interacting with you people, a very major problem is with the people who are working is that they try very seriously to establish a sense of equity in their minds that, Lala is paying me this much, so this much of work I should be doing. And probably at their home also, mothers and all are saying, why are you working so hard? This guy is paying you only this much. So what happens? You are caught up in a vicious cycle. See what happens? You feel that you are being paid this much only, so you should work only this much, which as per you is fair. As a result, your output is not commensurate with your capabilities. So you are performing at a suboptimum level. When you consistently keep performing at a suboptimum level, you become a suboptimum performer actually in life. So your employer is justified in paying you that much only because your performance is commensurate with that. Now, other thing what happens is that when you are such an employee, which numerous employees are for employer, the employer has to spend about 40 to 50% of his energies, which he could be spending in actually doing planning, doing his bit of work. That energy goes towards supervising employees like you who are suboptimum performers. So he is supervising, so he is wasting his energies and he is not trusting you. You are also not trusting the employer and he is also not trusting you. So it is a lose-lose situation, and that is the situation which is existing in practically most organizations in India. And that is why our organizations produce low. And as individuals, your performance is low and actually your competence is also not rising. So when you go for SSB, because what happens in SSB, what will come out is the sample of what you are in routine life. So in routine life, you are suboptimum performer. So let's say if you work for 1 or 2 years, so that's your nature. So exactly a sample of that will come out in SSB, and you will lose out as an employee. You will lose out in SSB as well. So what you should be doing is don't get bothered as to what salary you are getting. Just work sincerely, think it is your work and work in a proactive manner. Think how the work can be improved, how you can add greater value to the work. In this manner, you will become a good employee, you will become a good worker. Your chances in selection in SSB will increase and the employer will also give you more salary. And the employer will be much happier. Taking the case that the employer is not a very good person, you will still not lose out in the long run because your competence would have risen. You can move on and take up a next job where you will get paid better. So this was something I wanted to share with people who are working, because this was a serious issue which I have noticed with most of the persons who are working. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's take a good, sensible question now, Yogita.
Yes, sir. There are people who write to us, and that is why I feel personally obliged. But I'll select. I'll be a bit
Yes, yes,
selective.
obliged. No, I get your point. But see, thing is that if you are only not clear, what the hell answer I will give you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Sir, Ritvik is asking, sir, I noticed that I have been using the word they in the VAT or even SRTs. They in the sense all the people instead of I or the first pronoun. And being honest, this is the first thing that that comes to my mind using the word they. So, how should I improve, or is it wrong?
Firstly, there is no issue. You see, the starting of the point is, I guess, that his mind and his hands, which are writing, are controlled by some supernatural power. Your mind is telling you to write that. It is not somebody is, taking control of your mind and then telling you to write like this. That I have noticed this happens with me. What the hell it happens with you? You are doing it. You are in control of your life. If you feel you should not write those that many times, then you don't write they. You write you. You write I. You write we. Where is the bloody problem? Anyway, if in any case it's not a big deal, this is a very minor issue. As far as I am concerned, the guidelines for writing this test of WAT, there are just two things. Whatever you write, the meaning should be correct. And second is the language should be correct. That's all. There are no other tips. Whatever things are given, a third tip is that whatever is given on websites and whichever coaching and tells you other guidelines, that's all nonsense. Forget about it.
Okay. Yes, sir. Sunny Singh is asking, there are similar other questions. Sir, I want to join armed forces and right now that is the preference. How to answer such questions if you have two call letters in your hand, one of Army and one of Air Force, and with the same joining date, what will you join? Or if I am preparing for civil services and I have got two call letters in my hand, both civil services and armed forces, which will you join if IO asks such questions?
Firstly, this is actually it's a nice question. Why it is a nice question? Because it troubles the minds of a lot of us. Because the trouble starts because we are trying to get inside the minds of the interviewing officer, inside the mind of the GTO, inside the mind of the psychologist, and then somehow fool this person. You can't do that, please, buddies. You can't fool these guys. They're experts in their job. They do their job and they do it well. That's why they've been placed in that position. So be clear about that. Now coming to your answer. You just answer honestly and straight whatever is your answer. Normally what would happen is that once you are going for an Army SSB, I mean a same guy may be going for Army, Air Force or Navy SSB. It is very much possible. Our students also do that. So, a person may have a preference. Like I will take an example. Vaibhav was one of our students. Vaibhav's first choice was Army. Somehow he did not get selected for Army. He got selected for Air Force twice. And he has joined also Air Force Academy. And now he will be from there, he will be coming to attend the SSB for IMA. That is his first choice. He told the interviewing officer very clearly both times in the Air Force SSB that his first choice is Army, Air Force is his second choice. He was selected. So please tell the truth. Do not do that. In the corporate world, the thing is like this, that once you go for the interview for Reliance, then you say, it was your dream company to join Reliance. And when you go for joining Adani, then you say it was your dream to join Adani. This is a falsehood. This is what works in the corporate world. It does not work in the Fauji world. In Fauji world, you have to talk straight things, correct things honestly. So this should be your approach. Fine. I hope this is clear.
Similar question, Akash Sharma is asking, we have been answering this question. Sir, you have always emphasized that you should not be the BAP of assessors, but I cannot stop overthinking about it. So
it's a very nice situation to be. Something more he is asking, or that's it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So what you can do, you can keep getting rejected 4 or 5 times and then learn the lesson that don't become a BAP of the assessor and then get selected, or be happy by consistently getting rejected. We have examples of such people with us. You can listen to the interview of Pranav Raghav, who got recommended in his 19th, 20th and 21st attempt. And now we have another boy whose interview you will hear soon. He got recommended in his 22nd attempt. And very clearly he told me that when he got the inside out approach, that is, he started focusing on his own self rather than the SSB process, then things became pretty easy and he got recommended. While he was focusing on trying to become the BAP of all assessors, the assessors kept remaining his marks and he never got selected. I hope this question has been adequately answered.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, Vipul Padharia is asking, while in PPDT, when the suddenly mood of the person change, if I perceive the mood to be something, and similar question is asked by even other person, situation is like I perceive a story to be different, and the group is narrating a different story. So suddenly, how to handle this situation?
Okay. There are, you artificially create complications. As far as mood and all is concerned, that's not a big deal. What I know, people coming from the backgrounds of coaching academies and websites, even if a person is in tears and he is crying and he is half dead, they will still write the mood as neutral because somehow that's what it is. It never falls below neutral, which is not the truth. So my suggestion is, first, as far as mood is concerned, you should interpret exactly what the picture is showing and write accordingly. That will be the correct thing to do. That's the first thing. Now, think of that, coming on to the story perception and your differences as far as others are concerned. So, as far as the mood aspect is concerned, it's not a major issue that if a person is crying and others are saying that he is in a neutral mood or ye khushi ke aasu hai, such kind of nonsense also I have seen people giving. So don't fall for that. You say that, see, the scene itself is looking that it's a gloomy scene, and that is why probably the person is crying or khushi ke aasu ye nahi. However, do not spend too much of time on this mood shoot business because that is not the major issue. The major issue is to evolve a common story. So that is what your energies should be, focused towards. And when after you have narrated your story, or when you are narrating your story also, keep listening very carefully to the stories of others and try and interpret as to what can be the common theme. So once your narration is over, do not remain attached to the story which you have written. Treat it as just one of the stories of any of the group members, and now focus your energies towards the building of the common story. So you pick up which are the common themes which are likely to be acceptable to the group, and then try and develop the story around that common theme, and guide people also towards that. And if you listen to our video on this screening process, I have explained it amply. It would be helpful to you. I have also noticed a large number of our own students who have been going recently have been casual about interpreting whatever I have told in this video. And as a result, they have been getting screened out. So I would request our students also to pay good attention this video, understand it very well, and adopt the points which have been explained there when you attend your SSB. Because you see, getting screened out means you are losing about 3-4 months, which is not worth it. So that is what you should be doing. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Sir, Madhania has written to us in the mail. Sir, during command task, can a commander take the help of subordinates if he is stuck with an idea, or taking the help of subordinates is not good?
Okay. Okay. This is the question which comes to the minds of a lot of people. You see, what is happening is GTO will dissuade you from taking help from subordinates, because his agenda is pretty clear. He wants you to do the task because he is trying to assess you. You should not get bothered about that at all. You should, as I have always been saying, you should look at things from the practical perspective and actually think that in real life this is a task and you have to do that. Now, it does not matter as to whether when Virat Kohli was captain, whether Bumrah took the wicket or Shami took the wicket or he himself took the wicket, it does not matter. Taking the wicket and scoring runs is what is pertinent. So anybody who has got the best idea, anybody who is best suited to do the job should do that. So in case you are stuck for idea, you should consult your subordinates, take their view, and then solve. Because that is also, a part of a good commander, not that who, uses only his own brains. That's a misconception which has come up today in Indian society, because that's what we see our prime ministers are doing. That, I know everything and all of you keep listening to my man ki baat. That's not how things work. That's not a good commander. A good commander is very open to taking views of others and taking the best idea which is workable. And if he's not getting an idea, he should take idea from anybody who has. This is how you should work. Fine. Now, once you do this, it may happen. Actually, it is quite likely that the GTO will raise his voice and say, Commander, will you do like this in war? So actually, your answer should be that, sir, exactly like this I will do in war. Because in war, it is not important as to whose idea worked. What is important is that the things got done in the most efficient manner possible. So that should be your outlook. Please consult your subordinates whenever in doubt. In real life, as well as in command task in SSB, it is no different from that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Amarjeet Singh is asking, as a hosteler, hostel, the one who is staying in a hostel, how can I how can I tell this answer? Whom do I approach for my problems? My parents or me, mother, father? This is a repeatedly asked question.
Okay, see, thing is that there is nothing very peculiar about this answer to this question for a hostler or a person who's a day scholar, because nowadays connectivity is very good, and on a very regular basis everybody is speaking at home, and if you have some serious issues, you would still be consulting your mother or father, elder brother, sister, whatever. So answer that way. So for a hostler, things have not changed. Nobody is that much concerned कि मेरा जो है ना Pegasus लगा हुआ होगा मेरे फोन में, तो इसलिए मैं बात नहीं कर सकता हूँ. ऐसा तो होता नहीं है. And in any case, I don't think Pegasus would be put to somehow would tap your conversation with your mother trying to resolve your problem of your dispute which you had in your school. So that thing is not there. However, it may happen that for girls it may not be that much, but often for us boys, I mean, like I can have first-hand experience. Like if we were in India and all, I would not be talking of chota mota cheezein, either ragging hua, wo hua, kuch hua, no, some problem. As it is, there is no connectivity, hardly see. But maybe there may be people with that kind of outlook would be there even now, because it's a pretty boys thing that we often don't share much of information, and we feel that it is unbecoming of us, mother से एक बार महीने में कभी बात हो रही है तो छोटे-छोटे किस्से गाना रोना उसको सुनाना शुरू करो. So that outlook I can understand very well, because I would not have done. So what is happening is, in such situations you can very well say that most of my problems I solve myself. I don't approach anybody. Or if you're consulting some friend in hostel, some colleague, some senior or close friend, then you say as much. I mean, the bottom line is just be honest and say whatever he is asking, answer it honestly. You don't have to, when you get into these complications, because you are worried about assessment. Once again, वो assessor क्या बाप बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हो कि अगर मैंने माँ बोल दिया तो assessor क्या सोचेगा, बाप बोल दिया तो क्या सोचेगा, friend बोल दिया तो क्या सोचेगा, खुद ही solve कर लेता हूँ तो क्या सोचेगा. So these kind of your own your mindset is creating these problems for you. So don't get into these problems. Don't tie yourself up in knots. Whatever is asked, just answer honestly whatever is there. Yeah, next question, please.
Vipul is asking, in a PPTT situation, if a picture is showing something like someone is trying to steal, kill someone, harm someone, use of knife, how do we answer, write our story?
It would be very much preferable that when you have, let us say, you are shown a picture in which one person is getting attacked by a knife or being threatened with a pistol. So it would be prudent that you make the other person as the main character. Because somebody who is doing an illegal thing should not be made a main character, because from the beginning only you will be trying to defend something which is indefensible. I mean, if you have this, वो देश के गद्दारों को वो बोल रहा है, तो if you make him the main character, so that's not a very easy situation to be in. So don't put your protagonist in that situation. That's the first thing. And thereafter, whatever is appearing there, you interpret it and answer. So it should not be a big deal. My only suggestion is that don't try to bring in के drama. वो हो रहा है स्कूल में प्ले हो रहा है ड्रामा और all that. And in No Frills Academy, I have put a ban to this situation में picture में कि ये ड्रामा वाला में डालना मैं ban कर रखा है. It is not banned for the entire world at large. But if you are a No Frills Academy student, don't ever put in this drama business in trying to cover up something negative action being undertaken by the main character. So these are some of the things, but balance, case by case, you will have to see. You can read our book on this writing of the psychology test, writing of stories and sample stories, and all. From that you will get ideas.
Okay, sir. We had a good session today. Thank you so much. Those who wish to write to us specifically, and I would request you to ask relevant questions. Some of them are repetitive. You can refer to our previous, even just if you can refer our social media doubts clearing session videos. Many of the doubts can be clarified there as well. Col Nehru's YouTube channel. And for any specific doubt, please write to us at nofrillsacademy@gmail.com. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot, Yogita. Thank you very much. You boys and girls, bye bye. Take care.